Uh, Welcome back. And we were discussing current affairs. Okay. So yesterday I gave some of the uh, important events which were there in the news in 2021. So I'm just continuing my part. Very last, no, yesterday we discussed this uh, the Global Hunger Index report. Okay, so we'll be continuing this report, and there's a separate report called Global Nutrition Report. Global Nutrition Report of 2021. And this is the report. Okay, this is the report, which is something dealing with the nutrition. Okay, which is dealing with the nutrition. So it's a multi-stakeholder initiative, you can say. Okay, and uh, it gives some of the insights that what is the nutrition, the status of the world, what is the rank of the countries and all. So you just need to write down the findings of this report. Okay, you just need to write the findings of this report and what are the uh, global findings which are there in this 2021 report. Write down childhood stunting. Childhood stunting. I told you the meaning of stunting. Okay, childhood stunting. They are saying that there's a 27% of the child of the world, the children of the world are facing the child stunting problem. Okay, anemia. You know the meaning of anemia. There's a reduction of the iron content uh, in human. Okay, so anemia have there's a there is what 0.5% of the world is facing the problem of anemia. Okay, a low birth weight. Okay, you can say it's a child wasting. Low birth weight. 8% of the children. Okay, 8% of the children of the world have this problem. Low birth weight. They not have that optimum weight. Okay, uh, at the time of birth. There's a problem of overweight. Overweight, and 54% of the world. And this is the biggest problem, obesity, the sedentary lifestyle, and the kind of junk food we consume. So, 54%, okay, of the children below 14 years of age, they have the problem of overweight. Okay, about breastfeeding. Okay, breastfeeding, breastfeeding. 18%. Okay, not getting quality breastfeeding. 18% of the children, okay, not getting uh, breastfeeding, which they should get. So 18% they're not getting. Okay, and then childhood wasting. Childhood wasting, again here 18%. The problem is there. So global nutrition report is what representing the status of the world in terms of the nutrition. If they're not getting diet, what we can say the balanced diet, they're not getting carbohydrates, they're not getting fat, protein, vitamin, mineral, quality water. So the problem occurs. Okay, so all these problems are important. See, UPSC not gonna ask you these questions. कि कितने percent क्या है? Okay, but they're gonna ask you about what are the parameters in this nutrition report. So these are the parameters: child stunting, anemia, low birth weight. This is what the calculation of. Okay, and they are saying in addition to this, they are saying that 5 out of 6, 5 out of 6 global maternal, infant, and young children nutrition we call as MIYCN, maternal infant young children nutrition we call as MICN targets, okay, are difficult to meet, are difficult to. So we have the 6 important targets. What are the 6 important targets? Stunting is one of the target. Wasting is one of the target. Low birth weight is one of the target. Anemia is one of the target, and the childhood overweight. ये जो मैंने लिखा है ना, they are the 6th global target. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. This is 6. These are collectively called as MIYCN target. MI. So UPSC can ask you what is MIYCN target. Okay, they are maternal, infant, and young children nutritional targets. And what are they? They are 6. And this report is saying 5 out of 6 targets are very difficult to meet. 5 out of 6 targets are very difficult to meet. इसमें सबसे बढ़िया जो अभी अचीव हम कर रहा है, जिसमें दुनिया अच्छे से काम कर रही है, गवर्नमेंट अच्छे से काम कर, that is the childhood overweight. This childhood overweight is what there is childhood overweight. Okay, here we have some better statistics. 54% of the children, they are in the lines, but rest of them, this is what the off course. This is what the off course. So you can just mention that what is MIYCN target and what is the finding of this. There are more findings. Okay, so you just write down the more findings about this report. इसको कर दो अटैच, हाँ उसको कर दो. You can replace your board with this pad. Okay. So there are more the more findings of this report. No country is on track to achieve the target on reducing salt intake. No country is on the track to reduce salt intake. It's a big problem. We should not consume more salt. It increases the blood pressure and all, no? Depression and anxiety level. अगर ज्यादा नमक खाते हैं तो ये बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. अरे इसमें क्या हो रहा है, थोड़ा देखो इसको. ठीक है. So no countries in the target. This is what was the finding of the global nutrition report. Okay, and they are saying that after COVID-19 pandemic, this COVID-19 has made this fight more difficult. We are fighting with these targets, child stunting, wasting, and all the 6 targets. So this MIYCN target, okay, so achieving, you can write it this way, achieving MICN target are more difficult now after the COVID-19 pandemic. The report is saying. Okay, report is saying that in this sedentary lifestyle, in last decade, following the sedentary lifestyle, we are far away from consumption of healthy foods. We are not consuming healthy foods. We are far away from healthy foods. हम उटपटांग खाना बहुत खा रहे हैं, healthy foods. Instead of consuming fruits, green vegetables, water, तरल पदार्थ खाने के बजाय हम burger, pizza, all these junk foods we are consuming. That is why these problems are there. And this is global nutrition report is what saying. Okay, अभी कुछ नया ही चला है ना अभी. हाँ कल्चर होता है, अभी चाइना का कल्चर, नेपाल का कल्चर इंडिया में आ गया. Now people are getting very fond of consuming momos. अभी मोमो इट्स ऑफ दैट, क्या मैदा बोलते हैं उसको, उससे बनता है, इट्स नॉट गुड फॉर हेल्थ। ठीक है, महीना में एक दो बार खा लो, लेकिन डेली, ऑन डेली बेसिस। अभी हम जब हमारा फिजिकल क्लास होता था ब्लिट्स का, सो आई यूज्ड टू सी इन द शिवाजी नगर, हमारा जेएम रोड पे जो इंस्टीट्यूट है, ब्रेक होता था, लोग भागता था नीचे मोमो, और वो मोमो वाला भी समझ गया कि यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स लोग हैं, दे आर गेटिंग फॉन्ड ऑफ दिस मोमो, सो वहां पे भी स्टॉल्स वगैरह मोमोज के लगने लगे। सो वी आर फार अवे फ्रॉम द हेल्दी फूड, we are far away from the healthy food. This is what the thing, and this report is saying that the lower income countries, the lower income countries, as African countries, sub-Saharan countries, okay, lower income countries, uh, they are worst in terms of healthy foods. They are worst in terms of healthy food, okay, such as fruits and vegetables, and they have highest levels of underweight, okay, highest level of wasting is there in this. I told you, this countries, the Central African countries, Sub-Saharan countries, Nigeria is there, Ethiopia is there, Somalia is there, all these countries, collectively, they are not good. They are not good in terms of human development index, is not good in terms of such parameters. So हाँ, अच्छा कंट्री का भी जो हाई इनकम कंट्रीज हैं, ओके, उनका भी कुछ अच्छा हालत नहीं है। They are also not good in terms of the heavy this healthy food. So higher income countries also, uh, okay, does not have healthy food habits. Does not have healthy food habits. They are fond of junk foods. They are fond of junk food, and here the problem is the overweight, and you can say obesity, motapa, charbi बढ़ना. So in the higher income countries, they have the money, they have great money for the disposal, but they are consuming which food? Junk food. They're avoiding fruits and vegetables and all, following the sedentary lifestyle. uh, wo pizza, burger, momos and all those, no, Italian food, pasta, Chinese, and they are what consuming, and the problem is overweight. तो पैसा होने के बाद भी हम अच्छा भोजन नहीं खा रहे हैं। इट्स द केस ऑफ द हायर इनकम कंट्रीज। और जिनके पास पैसा नहीं है, वो तो खा ही नहीं सकता, तो देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम ऑफ अंडरवेट। So this can be a question in your PT examination. Lower income countries, lower income countries, the problem is of underweight. Why? Because they don't have money to spend on healthy foods, fruits and vegetables. They are also costly nowadays. The world is facing highest level of inflation. कीमतें बढ़ गई हैं. Food inflation is what increasing, not only in India, across the world. Higher income countries does not have money, but they don't want to follow healthy food habits and all. They used to consume junk food, and overweight and obesity is the problem. हम एग्जाम्पल भी देते हैं, आप हायर इनकम कंट्री लोअर इनकम कंट्री का बात मत करिए। हम एक एग्जाम्पल मजाक मजाक में, इसको सीरियस मत लो। हम इंडिया वर्सेस भारत बोलता है, इंडिया वर्सेस भारत। हमारे देश में भी इंडिया भी है, भारत भी है। भारत क्या है? वो तो पुअर पीपल, भारत माता की जय, बहुत इमोशनल पीपल। हजरत निजामुद्दीन का प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 6 के बाहर जाओ, भारत की सूरत देखने को मिलेगा। हजरत निजामुद्दीन रेलवे स्टेशन का प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 1 पे जाओ, इंडिया को देखने को मिलेगा। Have you gone to Hazrat Nizamuddin railway station? I am taking example of Hazrat Nizamuddin railway station. You can take many example अगर फिट बैठता है इसमें। प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 6 के बाहर ठेला वाला, फूड स्ट्रीट वेंडर्स, फूड स्टॉल्स, मच्छी मार्केट, sabji market, all this, rickshaw pullers and all. Platform number 1, it's Uber, Ola, government vehicles, ministers entry, VVIP entry, escalators and all. It's a platform. It's India versus Bharat. प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 1 के बाहर जो पब्लिक का जो क्राउड है उनके पास पैसा है, और आप देखो प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर के बाहर, प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 1 के बाहर this Hazrat Nizamuddin railway station, there is Subway, there is Pizza Hut, there is Domino's, there is Kamsam restaurant, and platform number 6 के बाद there is छोला कुलचा वाला, पानी पूरी वाला, gali paratha wala, all these things. So those who have money, they are investing money in such restaurants, junk foods and all. Those who don't have money, they are also consuming oily foods and all. पता नहीं कितने दिनों का तेल वेल से तल रहा है, वही खा रहा है. रिजल्ट इज सेम. यहाँ भी प्रॉब्लम है, यहाँ भी प्रॉब्लम है. प्रॉब्लम यहाँ ओवरवेट का है, प्रॉब्लम यहाँ अंडरवेट. कुछ तो खा ही नहीं पाता है यहाँ पे. Are you getting this? So this is what the picture of India. Forget about the world. So you just remember this concept. Lower income countries and higher income countries. Have India related finding पढ़ लो, ये important. So finding related to India. India related finding. कोई भी रिपोर्ट आता है उसका इंडिया रिलेटेड फाइंडिंग थोड़ा सा पढ़ लिया करो. So you know that they are saying, global nutrition report is saying that India में anemic Indian women increment हुआ है. So there is a rise in anemic women since 2016. It's a serious problem. It's the first finding. Okay, 52.6% of Indian women, 52.6% of Indian women are anemic. And it's increasing. Now 53% हो गया in 2021. Okay, second finding, India is worst among those 23-24 countries that have made no progress in terms of reducing childhood wasting. So India is worst performer in terms of childhood wasting. Childhood wasting means the weight जो है बच्चों का वो एक उम्र में जितना होना चाहिए उतना नहीं है. That was one meaning of the child wasting. The weight which should be there in that particular age, which is not there, that's called the child wasting. So India is worst performer. Okay, India is worst performer in this. Even the picture of child wasting is better than India of Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan. They are much better as compared to India. ठीक है, अभी उत्तर प्रदेश का चुनाव चल रहा है और बड़े गाने बन रहे हैं. भारतीय जनता पार्टी भी गाना बना रही है, प्रचार सॉन्ग, कैंपेन सॉन्ग. समाजवादी पार्टी भी गाना बना. अभी कल मैं एक गाना सुन रहा था भारतीय जनता पार्टी का. It was the reaction of that one of the song which got viral by one singer Neha Singh Rathod. यूपी में काबा. यूपी में काबा मीन्स इन भोजपुरी जैसे यूपी में काबा. यूपी में क्या है? कुछ नहीं है यूपी में. उसके रिएक्शन पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सॉन्ग बनाया, यूपी में सब्बा, यूपी में सब कुछ है. वो गाने में एक लाइन देखा मैंने, सबको मिले रोजगार बा और गरीबी पे वार बा, बच्चों को पोषण बा. इंडिया इज अ वर्स्ट परफॉर्मर. ये दिखाओ जरा उनको. तो ये गाना बना रहा है, उनको ये दिखाओ. उत्तर प्रदेश में ही सबसे ज्यादा गरीबी, बिहार उत्तर प्रदेश का सूरत आपको पता है. तो गाना वाना कैसे आ जाता है, ये मीडिया डिवीजन कैसे पास कर देता है मिसलीड करने वाले गाना, आई डोंट नो. लेकिन ये रियल पिक्चर आपको किताबों में देखने को मिलती है और ये मैं आपको रियल पिक्चर इंडिया का बता रहा हूँ. देखो जरा उत्तर प्रदेश विधानसभा इलेक्शन को फॉलो करो, बड़ा मजा आएगा तुमको. ठीक है. So India related finding is this, and over 17% of over 17% of Indian children Indian children under 5 years of age. Under 5 years of age. Okay. Are worst impacted or affected. Affected is are affected seriously. Yes, sir. So 17% of Indian children under 5 years of age affected very seriously. In terms of the wasting only I'm talking about. Okay, 6.2% of adult women and 3.5% of adult men are living with obesity in India. 6.5% of women and 3.5% of men are living in obesity. चर्बी, मोटापा जिसको हम बोलते हैं in India. Okay, this is India specific finding. Write down this. So a comparison on लिख लो. There's a survey called NHFS survey, National NFHS survey, NFHS survey, National Family Health Survey. National Family Health Survey started in 90s. Okay, and very recently they've concluded survey number 5. So NFHS 1 was there, 2 was there, 3 was there, 4 was there, and 5 was. तो जो recently है वो NFHS एक 4 है, National Family Health Survey 4 and National Family Health Survey 5. Okay, now you just compare. If I can give you about anemia. Okay, if I can give about stunting, if we can take parameter wasting. Okay, wasting. If you can take parameter called overweight. देखते हैं एमएनएसएस 4 में क्या फाइंडिंग था और 5 में क्या फाइंडिंग था. Actually, in anemia, in case of anemia, the finding was that in MNSFH 4, in fourth survey, it was 58.60%. It gone to 67.10%, means increased. Anemia in India, particularly in women, increased. Stunting की बात करेगा. Stunting, it was 38.40%, gone down to 35.50. ये कम हुआ, अच्छा बात है, लेकिन जिस रेट से कम होना चाहिए वो नहीं हुआ. About wasting, it was 21% and it gone to 19.30%. So here also it's positive news, कम हो रहा है. Overweight, it was 2.10% and it gone to 3.40%. That means it's shifted. So यहाँ प्रॉब्लम है, एनीमिया में प्रॉब्लम है, बढ़ रहा है, ओवरवेट बढ़ रहा है, ये आपको ध्यान रखना है. दे नॉट गोना आस्क यू दीज फिगर्स, कितना परसेंट, कितना पॉइंट, ये कुछ भी नहीं. ट्रेंड पता हो, एनीमिया बढ़ रहा है, ओवरवेट बढ़ रहा है, स्टंटिंग वेस्टिंग में हम काम कर रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे कम हो रहा है. सो ऑल दिस नो, सो यू जस्ट नो रीड द ट्रेंड, यू जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड द ट्रेंड. यू हैव होल राइट टू फॉरगेट द फैक्ट्स एंड फाइल्स. ये जो फैक्ट्स हैं, जो न्यूमेरिकल फैक्ट्स हैं, ये आप भूल सकते हो, कोई इशू नहीं है. ठीक है. So this was the global nutrition report. This was global nutrition report. Okay, global nutrition report. ओके, तो अब हम थोड़ा सा हेल्थ की बात कर रहे थे, तो हम एनएफएचएस की 5 की फाइंडिंग्स भी लिख ही लेते हैं. राइट डाउन नेशनल, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे. नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे, नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे National Family Health Survey. Okay, number 5, National Family Health Survey. We call as National Family Health Survey 5. Recently released by Government of India, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Okay, by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Released this Nfhs5 findings. Okay, Nfhs5 findings, and all India level. The findings are, so write down the first finding about TFR, total fertility rate. A total fertility rate. Total fertility rate meaning an average number of children per woman. Okay. The number of children produced by a woman in her whole lifetime, that is called total fertility rate. It's a very basic concept. So it is 2.0. The target was 2.1. 2.1 से हम 2.1 पे हमको लाना था. 2.4 से 2.3 हुआ, फिर 2.2 हुआ, like this. So the target was 2.1, but we overperformed here. It's a very good point that we have brought this total fertility rate to 2.0. Okay, this 2.1 is called replacement level. Replacement level. Okay, replacement level. It's very, very important to keep population growth under check. Okay, it is very, very important parameter. It's a very important concept to track the population growth or to keep population growth in check. So 2.0 ho gaya. So the experts are in a belief that India's population जो growth है वो अभी slow हो जाएगा. अभी we are growing by 17.64% as far as 2011 census is concerned. So according to experts, they are saying that will further, okay, down the growth rate. That will further down the growth rate. This 2.1 was the replacement level. तो अच्छा है हमने 2.1 से कम कर दिया. ठीक है? So that will give impact on the growth rate. Okay, so growth rate will be down. This is the first finding. The second finding is about sex ratio. I hope you know the meaning of sex ratio. Number of female per 1,000 male. Okay, number of female per 1,000 male. That is called the sex ratio. NCERT पढ़ना है तब ये basic concept आप समझेगा. Okay, so as far as sex ratio is concerned, it is 1020. It is 1020. It's very, I would say, जितना भी योजना सरकार ने चलाई हुई है पिछले 75 सालों में, उन सब का समीकरण, उन सब का क्यूमुलेटिव इम्पैक्ट इस सेक्स रेशियो के स्टैटा में हमको दिख रहा है. There was a time when India used to have very poor, worst sex ratio, patriarchal society, and a very, very low saying of women. A woman child is not preferred. Okay, ऐसा लगता था कि कर्ज हो गया. हम ऐसे देश को 1947 से लेके 2021 तक लेके आए हैं, और आज हमारा सेक्स रेशियो, according to NFHS survey, they are showing the data that we have more women, okay, as compared to men. So sex ratio of the total population 1020. It's the average value. It's the average value. It's in the favor of women. It's in a favor of women. Okay. See, when census data will come in 2021, अभी नया census जब आएगा, हम उससे मैच करेंगे इस डाटा को, NFHS की डाटा को. The clear picture will be after census 2021 itself. But NFHS5 की finding में हम इसको authentic finding मान सकते हैं. Sex ratio is about. And then we come to neonatal mortality rate. Neonatal mortality rate. Okay, we call as NMR, neonatal mortality rate. That is the number of death among all live birth during the first 30 days of life expressed per 1,000 life. Okay, so this is called as number of deaths, among live birth, live birth, live birth during 30 days. So बच्चा जीवित अवस्था में पैदा हुआ है और पैदा होने के तुरंत बाद अगर वो 30 दिन के भीतर कभी भी अगर उसकी मृत्यु हो जाती है, उसकी डेथ हो जाती है, तो वी यूज टू काउंट इन दिस सेंस अ neonatal mortality rate. 30 days is very important. In some book 28 days is also written, but you can use 28 days or 38 days. So according to this Nfhs5 survey, NMR came down to 24.9. This is the level. Earlier it was 29.5, 24.9. Again, it's a positive sign. हमने काम किया है इसको. ठीक है? Next, infant mortality rate, IMR. That's the death of infant. Okay. अच्छा ये ऊपर लिख लो पर 1,000 बर्थ, ये भी लिख लेना, भूल गया लिखना. Per 1,000 birth. We used to calculate as per the 1,000 birth. The same as IMR, number of deaths of infants, number of death of infants in 1 year. In 1 year, just after his birth, just after the birth. It's expressed again in per 1,000 births. That is called IMR. And here also we made progress, and it is 35.2. Earlier it was 40.7. Now it is 35.2. Okay, 35.2. Similarly, under 5 IMR, under 5 years IMR, we call as under 5 IMR. Here also we made progress, and it is 41.9. Earlier it was 49.7. So here also progress. Okay, here also progress. Institutional birth, there's a progress. Institutional birth, again there's a progress. Institutional birth, again there's a progress, and progress is something 88.6% of the children, okay, they're getting birth, or they are I could say they're coming in the world in an institutional setup. तो अस्पताल में उनका जन्म हो रहा है, प्राइमरी हेल्थ केयर में उनका जन्म हो रहा है, सुविधाओं के साथ उनका जन्म हो रहा है, तो दे कॉल्ड इंस्टीट्यूशनल बर्थ. नॉन इंस्टीट्यूशनल बर्थ क्या होता है? घर में ही ट्रेडिशनल मेथड से जो प्रोसीजर है उससे नो बर्थ हो गया है, गांव की दाई माँ को बुलाया गया. मूवीज में देखते हैं ना तुम, इंडियन टिपिकल इंडियन मूवीज, हीरो का जन्म कैसे हुआ. गांव की औरतें आई, कमरे में गई और दाई माँ को बुलाया और जन्म करा दिया, जो होता है ना. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड नॉन इंस्टीट्यूशनल बर्थ. नॉन इंस्टीट्यूशनल बर्थ faces many kind of risk. Infection risk is there. If you don't have the medicine, you don't have the antiseptics, you don't have the medical setup and all those, no clinical setup, so it's very difficult. उसमें बहुत ज्यादा चांसेस होता है कि या तो जननी की मृत्यु होगी या बच्चे की मृत्यु होगी, बहुत ज्यादा चांसेस. So the government is committed to increase the institutional birth, and already we are making some progress also. It is 88.6%. Earlier it was 78%. So here also we have made some progress. Okay, so institutional birth is very very important. आप जब डीएम बनेगा तो ये सब पैरामीटर्स पे आपको काम करना है. Children under 5 years of age who are stunted. So under 5 stunting, under 5 stuntings. Okay, under 5 stunting. It is 35.5%. Okay, 35.5%. Earlier it was 38%. Now 35%. So here also we made some progress. We are progressing in this way. Okay, under 5 wasting. Under 5 wasting. Here also we made some progress, and this is something 19.3%. Earlier it was 21%. So here also progress. ट्रेंड याद रखो आप, कहां हम ऊपर जा रहे हैं, कहां हम नीचे आ रहे हैं. अंडर 5, ओके, अंडर 5 अंडरवेट, अंडर 5 इयर्स में जो बच्चे अंडरवेट, underweight. Here also we are making progress. It is 32.1%. Earlier it was 31. So याद करने का तरीका है, जितने भी ये पैरामीटर्स NFHS5 सर्वे में हैं, इन सब पैरामीटर्स में, चाहे वो TFR हो, चाहे वो सेक्स रेशियो हो, चाहे वो नियोनेटल मोर्टेलिटी रेट हो, IMR हो, अंडर 5 IMR हो, इंस्टीट्यूशनल बर्थ हो, स्टंटिंग हो, वेस्टिंग, इन एवरी पैरामीटर इंडिया इज प्रोग्रेस. You can write down this in every parameter. Okay, in every parameters, India is progressing. India is progressing. Okay, so you just need to remember the trend which is going on as far as NFHS survey is concerned. NFHS survey is concerned. Okay. So this is something related to health sector. Now again I'm taking new topic for discussion, which was there in news actually in 2021. In 2021, and that is something about the data privacy and all. So you can write, there was a dialogue very recently called a Sydney dialogue. They can ask you directly, what is Sydney dialogue? So what is Sydney dialogue? See, Sydney dialogue is what an initiative of the Australian Strategic Policy Institute. It says initiative of Australia. It's an institute in Australia. That institute is Strategy Policy Institute. Strategy Policy Institute. And they have given a dialogue called Sydney dialogue. Sydney is in Australia, so this is a trick to remember, that Sydney dialogue. And this Sydney dialogue is something associated with digital sovereignty. Digital sovereignty. What is digital sovereignty? You just know. Listen, that what is digital sovereignty? See, what is sovereignty? Okay, what is sovereignty? No external power is controlling the affairs of any particular country. That is called sovereignty. The last stage of your country, no second party can interfere in your matter. No one can claim, no one can have any kind of stake in any country. That is what the sovereignty. You are the supreme decision maker for yourself. You are the sovereign. India is a sovereign country. We have our own legitimate government. Okay. And no one has a right to say in any of the affair related to India. That is called the sovereignty. Digital sovereignty means, if suppose this is the country, and whatever the digital transaction happening in the country, the digital services which are there in the country, digital infrastructure which is there in the country, even your mobile phone also. Does your country have the digital sovereignty or not? If suppose you are running an app from China, तुम TikTok चला रहा है, India, that is a Chinese app. So when you're using TikTok in Indian jurisdiction, so is it really India specific app, or China is controlling some of the affairs of India through this app? It's a question related to digital sovereignty. अभी पिछले साल हमने कई चाइनीज एप्स को बैन किया एंड टिकटॉक वाज वन अमंग. Why? Because there were some questions that might be there can be some issue with the digital sovereignty. चाइना ने कुछ ऐसा उसमें प्रोग्राम ना डाला हो जिसमें हमारी इंडिया का कुछ अफेयर वो हमारे देश के बाहर बैठ के कंट्रोल कर रहा है. When you use any of the app, when you use any of the digital service, when you use any of the digital platform, you give your name, you give your age, you give your sex, you give your education, you give your photo, you give your fingerprints and all. So you are giving your personal data also. You're giving your non-personal data also. You're giving some critical data also. You're giving some sensitive data also. Every सब ले लो. एक छोटा सा अकाउंट किसी ऐप में बना रहा है, उसमें नाम, एज, सब. When the app is China based app, Russia based app, US based app, अभी तो चाइना और यूएस का ही माहौल है पूरे देश में. सबसे ज्यादा डिजिटल सर्विसेज, डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म, डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जिस कंट्रीज का सबसे स्ट्रॉन्ग है, दैट इज यूएस एंड चाइना. Today also, as far as India is concerned, we are using 99% of the apps either from US or China. You're using Google, you're using Facebook, you're using Apple, you're using Amazon, you're using Netflix, you're using Tesla, you're using Airbnb, you're using Uber. Everything is either from US or either from China. अभी तो TikTok बैन कर दिया है, तो ठीक है, चला गया अभी चाइना का, but there are many other apps also. There is a question, there is an issue whether these apps or these digital services, whether, write down this, whether digital services in India are safe or not. And when I'm saying safe or not, that means I'm concerned about the security. I'm concerned about privacy. I'm concerned about the safety. I'm concerned about the rights. I'm concerned about the laws. I'm concerned about the ethics. I'm concerned about the governance. This is why that whether these digital services in India coming from US or China or any of the country, whether they are safe or not. Biggest question. So Sydney Dialogue have taken this initiative that government must work on this domain of this digital sovereignty. हर देश की सरकार को किसी भी ऐप को मंजूरी देने के पहले, किसी भी सर्विस को मंजूरी देने के पहले, यदि वो बाहर से आ रही है, हमें उसकी डिजिटल सोवेनिटी चेक करना चाहिए. We must make that particular arrangement India specific or any country specific where it gonna use. Are you getting this? So this is what the Sydney Dialogue. And as far as India's standards concerned, India is also very, very particular in terms of digital sovereignty. India is 10. India is 10. Okay, so India is now getting momentum. Okay, India is also now getting momentum in terms of digital. So India's stance is very strong. And according to PM Modi, he also have 5 important transitions. So he talked about the 5 important facts about India. And okay, he's saying about India, number 1, that we are promoting Atmanirbhar Bharat. जितना भी सर्विस है, हम कोशिश कर रहा है कि सब इंडिया से ही बने. So extensive public information infrastructure being built in India. Okay, so all these digital infrastructure, okay, they must be made in India. मैं अक्सर इस बात को बोलता हूँ क्लास में कि हम हमारी लाइफ का सबसे इंटीग्रल कोई कंपोनेंट है आज, तो दैट इज द गूगल. कुछ भी चीज समझ में नहीं आ रहा, तुरंत हाथ गूगल की तरफ जाता है, जाता नहीं जाता? Whenever you are free, आप इंस्टा चलाओगे, आप फेसबुक चलाएगा, यही these are the integral parts of our life. Unfortunately, they're not Indian apps, they're not Indian services. Why India cannot make the Google like search engine? Why India can't make Facebook and Insta like social media platforms? Why India cannot make Uber like transportation services? Why India cannot make Big Basket like grocery delivery services? Why India cannot make some different kind of arrangements? Why India cannot make its own brand of mobile phone? Why India cannot make its own OTT platform like Netflix, Amazon Prime and all? Why India cannot make the online shopping? अभी फ्लिपकार्ट है, ठीक है, फ्लिपकार्ट जैसा कुछ और why India cannot make? We need to promote such initiative, we need to promote such atmosphere in the country. So PM is talking about this, that India is in a process to create all these things. अभी होगा नहीं होगा वो बात की बात है, बोल दिया है मोदी जी ने. Second, Modi ji said that use of digital technology for governance. हम digital technology के जरिए गवर्नेंस प्रदान करेंगे, और जो गवर्नेंस का मॉडल होगा, टेक्नोलॉजी होगी, वो इंडियन मेड होगी, मेड इन इंडिया. ठीक है. एंड ही इज आल्सो, ही सेड इन द सिडनी डायलॉग, okay, in the Sydney dialogue, the third point, that India is the third largest country in terms of growing startup ecosystem. India is third largest, okay, in terms of startup ecosystem. Fourth point he said in the Sydney dialogue, massive digital transformation in industry and services sectors. There's a massive digital transformation happening in India. Okay, digital massive transformation happening in India. वो तो होगा ही यार, जैसे जैसे समय बढ़ेगा, नई टेक्नोलॉजीज आएंगे और वो इंगल्फ करेंगी हमारे कॉन्टिनेंट को भी, हमारे देश को भी, हमारे लोगों को भी. तो ये कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है कि डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो रहा है. तो किसी एक्सपर्ट ने कहा था, नो वन कैन स्टॉप द आइडिया हुज टाइम हैज कम. उस सोच को, उस आइडिया को दुनिया की कोई भी ताकत नहीं रोक सकती जिसका समय आ चुका है. मोबाइल फोन्स का समय आया था, हर एक आदमी के पास मोबाइल फोन हो गया, भले उसकी कैपेसिटी हो खरीदने की चाहे ना हो. एक टाइम पे हम 10 MB 20 MB 30 MB नेट बचा के रखते थे कि यार नहीं यूज करेंगे हम उसको, 100 MB दिन का मिलता था. आज आप बैठे बैठे 5 GB दिन का खर्च कर दे रहे. रिक्शा वाला भी, जिसका उतना इनकम नहीं है, वो भी उतना ही नेट इस्तेमाल कर रहा है जितना तुम करता है. तो नो वन कैन स्टॉप द आइडिया व्हिच टाइम हैज कम. मैसिव डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, यस इट्स हैपनिंग इन इंडिया, लेकिन मोदी जी कर रहे हैं. ये बात मैं नहीं मानता. ये हो ही जाता है, कोई भी सरकार रहती ये हो जाता है. ठीक है. So efforts for developing indigenous capacity, this the fifth the talk is the efforts for developing indigenous capabilities in telecom industry. The indigenous capacity, indigenous capacity in telecom technology, okay, like 5G 6G and all. So they're working, India is working with Reliance खुद का 5G network बना रहे हैं, Airtel is also making. So and the indigenous capacity in telecom industry, telecom technology. So this is what Modi ji said, our Prime Minister said in the Sydney dialogue. But if the question comes for the Sydney dialogue, you need to understand what is Sydney dialogue and what is. देखो, सबसे ज्यादा जो fear है, there's a kind of a the issue with the digital sovereignty. They are saying the fear is from this GAFA and NATO. Okay, GAFA means Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. The word is used GAFA. NATO. NATO means Netflix. Okay, Netflix, Airbnb, Tesla, Uber. If you add this GAFA and NATO, they have the billions of users across the world. Billions of users across the world. Billions of users across the world. Whole India is using this. World ka population 8 billion. Whole world is using. Billions of users across. They have the GAFA and NATO and all this. There's a fear of digital sovereignty. And what do you mean by digital sovereignty? I told you, each and every concern is there: governance, security, privacy, safety, rights, laws, ethics concern is there. Okay, so this is what the Sydney Dialogue is all about. Sydney Dialogue is all about, and you need to study in this particular format. ठीक है, अभी देखो कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स हैं कि इस डिजिटल सोवेनिटी को बढ़ाने में और गाफा और नाटूस के इतना वाइड फ्रेमवर्क से डेटा प्राइवेसी को बढ़ाने के लिए दुनिया ने क्या किया है। तो देखो यूरोप ने क्या किया है, सम इनिशिएटिव्स you can write like European Union. Okay, all those 27 countries of European Union, they have created GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, General Data Protection Regulation. So European countries, all those 27 countries of the Europe, they have signed this particular regulation. और जब भी कोई भी ऐप, कोई भी digital service, digital infra or digital platform comes to any of the country of the Europe, they need to synchronize their service as per the demand of GDPR regulation. अगर GDPR के नियमों में अगर वो फिट बैठते हैं तो ही अलाउ करती है यूरोपियन यूनियन यूज कराने के लिए, or unless not going to give the permission. The GDPR, and it's very tough rules and regulations. क्यों? They are securing data. They are very concerned of data. It have the data, the personal data are there, critical data are there, non-personal data are there, like this. So they have some arrangement. If in any of the app, if they are taking data without your consent, and they are using false, they are making false use of it, which is very common in India. आप भी जमाने भर का किसी में भी कभी भी अकाउंट बना लेते हो बिना सोचे समझे, अपना सब कुछ डेटा दे देते हो। वो पूछता भी है, आर यू रेडी टू गिव द कंसेंट? हाँ, तुरंत जल्दी काम खत्म करना, टिक मारा, ओके कर दे, तब चला गया उनके पास। अभी एक इशू चला था कि एक ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म है, कंटिन्यूअसली आपका माइक्रोफोन जो कैमरा का है, माइक और कैमरा, मोबाइल फोन का माइक और मोबाइल फोन का कैमरा दोनों को 24/7 यूज करता है जब भी आप नेट ऑन करते हैं। There was an issue with the Hotstar. अभी हॉटस्टार ने उसको किया कि नहीं, हम ऐसा नहीं करते। But there are many apps. Continuously they use your microphone and camera and all. क्या है ये? Is it a data privacy? Is it a privacy, general privacy? No. So such rules and regulations must be there in an economy, in the country, like this European Union GDPR. So very tough. And similarly, some Actually, they have made the European a cloud service also. Cloud service, that is the Gaia X. हम क्लाउड सर्विस किसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं? हम गूगल का इस्तेमाल करेगा, अमेजोन का इस्तेमाल करेगा, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का इस्तेमाल करेगा, याहू का इस्तेमाल करेगा, ड्राइव एंड ऑल। अभी जूम भी आ गया तो जूम का भी इस्तेमाल करेगा, बट दे आर नॉट इंडियन एप्स। तो यूरोप ने अपना खुद का क्लाउड सर्विस बना लिया, गाया एक्स। इट्स गुड, देयर मस्ट बी देयर। ओके, देयर मस्ट बी। इंडिया का क्या स्टैंड है? इंडिया भी बोलता है कि हमने एक नियम बनाया है, द डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल, वी कॉल इट द पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल ऑफ 2019। पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल, कोई भी ऐप, कोई भी डिजिटल सर्विस प्लेटफॉर्म करने के पहले अभी एक्ट नहीं बना है ये, इस बिल के जो भी नियम होंगे, रेगुलेशंस होंगे, उससे सिंक्रोनाइज्ड होना पड़ेगा, उसके हिसाब से कैटर करना पड़ेगा, तभी परमिशन मिलेगा। बट who framed this act? Actually, it was on the recommendation of a committee which was headed by B.N. Sri Krishna, B.N. Sri Krishnan committee. ओके, तो उन्होंने जो पूरा ड्राफ्ट बना के दिया था इस पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन का, दैट वाज वेरी स्ट्रांग एंड वेरी रिजिड। And the way government bought this bill, that was diluted. This is the issue. अभी इसको बताएंगे हम मेंस, हम सिक्योरिटी के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी में पढ़ेंगे, उसमें एक पर्सनल डेटा के बारे में एक टॉपिक है। तो B.N. Sri Krishna, being the draft, the chairman of the drafting committee of this particular bill, said that जो हमने बिल बनाया था वो बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग था, गवर्नमेंट ने उसको डाइल्यूट करके पार्लियामेंट में पेश किया। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। It must be on the same lines which was recommended by B.N. Sri Krishnan committee, because that particular framework was very strong framework. हर इंडियंस का डेटा को सेफ बनाने के लिए, ओनरशिप, डेटा ओनरशिप देने के लिए, डेटा सोवेनिटी देने के लिए इस कमिटी ने काम किया था। पार्लियामेंट में उसको डाइल्यूट करके लाया गया। तो ऑल आईज आर ऑन दिस पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल। अभी बिल है, जब एक्ट बनेगा तो ऑल आईज ऑन दिस कि इंडिया किस हद तक जाती है हमारे डेटा को प्रोटेक्ट करने में, डेटा प्रोटेक्शन के लिए, डेटा सोवेनिटी के लिए, डेटा ओनरशिप के लिए। आर यू गेटिंग दिस? तो वो हमको देखना है। इट गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग मूवमेंट जब हम देखेंगे उसके फीचर्स ये क्या है। ठीक है, सो दिस इज व्हाट द मीनिंग ऑफ the data sovereignty, and it was there in news. Why? Because Sydney dialogue was there. It was there in the news. Why? Sydney dialogue was there. Okay, so next topic I'm taking for discussion. Next topic I'm taking for discussion is the Pisa Act. It was there in news actually. The Pisa Act, we call it a Panchayat extension to schedule areas. A Panchayat, okay, Panchayat extension to the schedule areas. Scheduled areas. Okay, and this was the act in 1996. Okay, that was the act in 1996. And what is the spirit behind this act? Okay, what is the spirit behind it? You know that the 11th schedule of the constitution deals with the Panchayati Raj institution. Okay, 11th schedule of the constitution deals with the Panchayati Raj institution. You know, the Panchayati Raj institution we have covered in the Indian polity and governance class. So when this law was framed in 1993, 11th schedule of the constitution, the Panchayati Raj institution when got the constitutional status. So it exempted the scheduled areas of the country which are there under the 5th schedule of Indian Constitution. It is not applicable. The Panchayati Raj institution framework is not applicable to the scheduled areas. Why? Because scheduled areas have different kind of issues, very complex issues. So that was not the correct time in 92-93 to include Panchayati Raj institution in this framework also. So the scheduled areas which were there in the Schedule 5 of the Indian Constitution, they were exempted from Panchayati Raj institution. But very soon there was a demand that the Panchayati Raj institution is one of the I would say the component of the grassroots democracy. It strengthens the grassroots democracy. It's a very important the setup of the governance. So why not to include the Panchayati Raj provisions for the scheduled areas also? Okay, so soon in 1996, Government of India decided that we frame a law called as a Pisa Act, and that is the Panchayat extension to the scheduled area. And this act said that there must be the extension of the Panchayati Raj institution. There must be the Panchayati Raj rules and regulations to scheduled areas as well. This is what the meaning of the Panchayati Raj institution or Panchayat extension to the scheduled areas 1996. It was based on a committee, and that committee was known as Dilip Singh Bhuria Committee. Okay, so Pisa Act was on the recommendation of based on the recommendation of Dilip Singh Bhuria Committee. Dilip Singh Bhuria Committee. Okay, and they said that it's very important act. The Pisa Act is very important and is very critical for the tribal empowerment and to bring them into the mainstream. For the tribal empowerment and to bring them in mainstream. To bring them in mainstream. You please remember the name of the committee. And often this Pisa Act is also known as the mini constitution of India. Do you know this? Often this Pisa Act is known as mini constitution of India. Okay, mini constitution of India. Why mini constitution of India? Because all the features of the Panchayati Raj institution are applicable to the scheduled areas which are there under Schedule 5. So it can be called as a mini constitution of India. Okay, it can be called as a mini constitution of India. Okay, so in 1996 it was decided that all state must frame the Pisa Act and they must apply to the scheduled areas of this act. So only 10 states framed or implemented, not framed, implemented Pisa in their states, and these states are right on the name: the Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Telangana, Gujarat, okay, आप ऐसा लिखो इसको, only 10 states or 10 states were selected for Pisa imposition. The states which have the Schedule 5 areas, no Schedule 5 areas in states में उन्हीं states में लगाना पड़ेगा क्योंकि basis ही वही है. तो छत्तीसगढ़, उड़ीसा, महाराष्ट्र, तेलंगाना, गुजरात, मध्य प्रदेश, हिमाचल प्रदेश, झारखंड, राजस्थान. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more is got there. Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so these 10 states are being selected. Why? Because they have the scheduled areas, which are there under Schedule 5 of Indian Constitution. These 10 states have the scheduled area, and that is why these states were selected. Okay, and it's there in the Pisa Act. What are the provisions which are there in the Panchayati Raj institution? In the same way, must be applicable to these scheduled areas which are there under Schedule 5. Okay, so all these states have to implement Panchayati Raj institution framework to Schedule 5 areas of these 10 states Okay, तो इसमें मैं आपको एक छोटा सा चार्ट बना के दे रहा हूँ पीजा एक्ट में क्या करना पड़ता है. So write down first customary laws, social religious practices ये फ्रेम करना पड़ती है. Panchayats, no, they will be framing this and they will be applying to Schedule 5 areas. Okay, they need to create separate gram sabha in scheduled areas. क्योंकि पंचायत का ही प्रोविजंस हमको देना है ना वहां पर, तो ये सब तो करना ही पड़ेगा. लोकल गवर्नमेंट यू कैन से. Okay, local. You have to give reservation of seats. It's written in the constitution of Panchayati Raj institution. Reservation of seats. Okay, reservation of seats. That is women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. Okay, so reservation in seats. Okay, implement provisions of Gram Sabha. So what Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat can do, you need to implement those framework also. Okay, those framework also. Okay, a management of water bodies, roads, forest, clearances, minor forest produce, etc. Everything will be under consideration of Pisa. Okay, a sale of liquor and all. So such things which are there in the Panchayati Raj institutions provision, and same way applicable to the Pisa also. So this is what the spirit of behind this act. Abhi dekho, the act is very good. So if you are implementing Panchayati Raj institution provisions, 11 scheduled provisions to the scheduled areas of the country, it's a very good exercise, a very good act. But issue is there that what the 10 states which were selected, those who have the scheduled 5 areas, only few states have made this act. अभी सिर्फ इम्प्लीमेंट जो किया है वो कुछ ही राज्यों ने किया. जैसे मैं आपको बताऊं, झारखंड, मध्य प्रदेश. ओके, झारखंड, मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़ and Odisha. They are the top most 4 states in terms of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. But they have not implemented this act. It's a big question. It's been there 1996 to 2022 आ गया. अभी भी इस बारे में ये लोग ने सोचा नहीं है. Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. So they are undermining the spirit of this act. Why they are not even? Okay, many states who have implemented. अभी जैसे ये जो states हैं, Maharashtra, Telangana, and all, these are implemented. But use of unfair means is there for taking consent and all. Corruption is there. Poor implementation of law is there. कोई spirit ही नहीं है, कुछ objectivity ही नहीं है उस act का. There are the issues also in this. So why we are reading this Pisa Act actually? एक बार याद दिलाने के लिए कि we are celebrating the 75 साल का आजादी. We call it आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव. आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव. Azadi का अमृत महोत्सव, 75 years of independence we are celebrating. In a mood of this celebration. आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव हम क्यों मनाएं? अभी हमारे देश में बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कतें हैं, ठीक है, आजादी मिली है, लेकिन आजादी का जश्न मनाना उस दिन अच्छा रहेगा। आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव उस दिन अच्छा लगेगा जब हमारे देश की सभी जो व्यवधान हैं, जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, इश्यूज हैं, वो कम हो जाएंगे या खत्म हो जाएंगे। तो आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव हम मना रहे हैं, और इसके साथ साथ इस पिज़्ज़ा एक्ट को 25 साल भी हो गए, 25 years, 1996 to 2021. So it was there in news. And if any of the act which is completing 25 years, 50 years, 100 years, very important from UPSC point. So Pisa Act, have you got the meaning of the Pisa Act and all? So this was the news about Pisa Act. Okay. So write down about Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and all. The budget may be, the finance minister said it's the Amrit Kal budget. Nomenclature देने में BJP government is, I've done PhD. Okay. So let's take a report for the discussion, and that report is the Leeds report. It's an important report. Leeds. Okay, Leeds report. And Leeds, it's the logistic ease across different states. Logistic ease across different states. It's called as the Leeds report. And actually, the Leeds report is the framework of World Bank. Okay, we country to country ये बताते हैं, लेकिन उसका ही फॉर्मूला लेके हमने अपना भी लीड्स का रिपोर्ट बनाना शुरू कर दिया बाय मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स, और कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री, कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. So we are making our own leads report. Okay, it's the third report. Okay, first one was there in 2018, the second was there in 2019, a third due to Corona 2020 it was not there, so 2021 it's the third report. लॉजिस्टिक ई का, अभी देखो नाम से ही पता चल रहा है लॉजिस्टिक ईज, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन जो है रेल का है, रोड का है, शिप का है, एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में कितनी ईज से फ्लो हो रहा है इंडिया में. कौन सा स्टेट जो है अच्छा सड़क है, अच्छा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, कोई भी हिंड्रेंस नहीं है बीच में, ऑब्लिगेशंस नहीं है बीच में, कौन सपोर्टिव है. So in this way, this is what a report. Okay, report in terms of the efficiency of the logistic system. That is what the meaning. And as far as the report is concerned, you say that it have the 3 dimensions. Okay, have the 3 dimensions. कैसे हम इसको measure करते हैं? So 3 dimension is there. And number 1 dimension is about infra. We consider road also, we consider rail also, we consider multimodal transportation system also, we consider waterways also, etc., etc., etc. Infra. Okay. Second is services. Services means the services related to the tolls, the toll plazas, quality, capability of logistics sector, safety, security. So everything is there in the services. Okay, everything is there in the services. Third is the operation and regulatory environment. Operational and regulatory environment. In this, we're gonna have the facilitation, ease of obtaining approvals, clearances, and all. So this is so 3 heads: infra, services, and operational. So they can ask you what are the 3 dimensions in the leads index. These are the 3 index, and on the basis of these 3 dimensions, The topper is Gujarat. Okay, a topper. सबसे आसानी से ट्रांसपोर्टेशन अगर ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स के फॉर्म में ट्रक्स वगैरह, रेल, कंटेनर्स एंड ऑल, if it is happening, so the first position is with the Gujarat. The second position is with the Haryana. Okay, third position is with the Punjab. They're the top performers. Okay, they are the toppers. They're the toppers. Okay, Northeast India या हिली रीजन में अगर आप देखेगा, हिली और नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया में, तो जम्मू कश्मीर इज अ टॉप. जम्मू एंड कश्मीर इज टॉप इन दिस कैटेगरी. बिग स्टेट का कैटेगरी में ये लोग टॉपर हैं, एंड नॉर्थ ईस्ट और हिली एरियाज में टॉपर. अमंग यूटी, यूनियन टेरिटरी, इफ यूटी का बात करेगा तो दिल्ली इज टॉप. ओके, सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ यूटी, दिल्ली इज टॉपर. दिल्ली इज टॉपर. Okay, so you please remember all these names. All these names, it's very, very important from examination point of. Okay, so these three dimensions which are there, okay, further they are being divided into 21 indicators. There are three dimension. ये road, rail, ये ऐसा अलग अलग गिनेगा तो 21 indicators. So 2021 report is based on 3 dimension, or you can say 21 indicators. Okay, 21 indicators. Are you getting this? Please write down the meaning of leads index. Okay, leads index. Now coming to a news from jute sector. Jute sector. See, as far as jute sector is concerned, India is the largest producer of jute in the world. Do you know this? India, geography में पढ़ा है, India is the largest producer of jute sector, or of jute. Okay, India is the largest producer of jute. And why we are reading this current event? Because recently cabinet approves reservation norms for jute packaging material. Okay, so cabinet committee on economic affairs. There are many cabinet committees. Cabinet committee on economic affairs, cabinet committee on accommodation, cabinet committee on parliamentary affairs, cabinet committee on political affairs, cabinet committee on appointments. So there are many cabinet committees. So one of the cabinet committee is a cabinet committee on security is also one of them. The cabinet committee on economic affairs decided to have reservation norms for jute packaging material. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ अभी आप देखिए. They are saying that there must be a compulsory use of jute in packaging. For what? 100% food grains must be packed from jute, and 20% of sugar must be packed in jute bags. So it's a very wonderful decision by the government of India. 100% of food grains, rice, wheat, maize, barley, everything, no, so must be packed by jute. Jute bags may pack hoga 100%, mandatory packing, and 20% of sugar of the country must be packed in jute bags. अभी ये सरकार क्यों कर रहा है? अभी आपको खुद से, अभी आप यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट हो, आपको खुद से ये समझना चाहिए व्हाई दिस इज अ नीड. सिर्फ जूट की बात क्यों हो रही? कोई और दूसरा भी मटेरियल बोल देता. व्हाई? बिकॉज जूट सेक्टर इज अंडर ट्रेमेंडस प्रेशर. जूट का अगर आप प्रेशर देखोगे, सो आई कैन टेल यू द 3 स्टोरी अबाउट जूट. फर्स्ट, raw material. Despite India is the largest producer of jute, but raw material is what we are lacking in quality. Rainfall fluctuation can be the reason. Soil degradation can be the reason. Degradation of aquatic ecosystem can be a reason. Many reasons get the quality is inferior. So we have the shortage of the raw material. Why? Because we want best quality jute. Okay, if quality is, if we have the shortage of the quality jute, so the very next problem is of cost. किसी भी चीज का अगर सप्लाई कम होगा, cost is very high. So jute का cost is very high. It's very high. And if the cost is high, nobody prefers to buy jute. Neither traders, neither industrialists, neither consumer customers. नहीं नहीं लेगा. आम जनता भी जूट खरीदने से बचेगा, क्यों? महंगा है. And there's an import of artificial पैकेजिंग मटेरियल. चाइना ने इतना आर्टिफिशियल मटेरियल हिंदुस्तान में भेज रहा है इंपोर्ट करके, इतना सस्ता है. द कॉस्ट इज सो डाउन. ग्रेट चैलेंज फॉर द जूट सेक्टर इन. आप देखिए आज फूड ग्रेन, शुगर वगैरह जो है, और 90% जो पैकेजिंग है वो इन आर्टिफिशियल मटेरियल से होता है. आपके घर में भी राइस का सैग आता होगा, गेहूं आती होगी, दाल आता होगा, चना आता होगा. आप देखिए 90% इज कमिंग इन द आर्टिफिशियल बैग्स, पॉलिस्टरीन बैग्स, टार्पोलिन बैग्स, उसमें ही आ रहा है. प्लास्टिक बैग्स, जूट देखने को नहीं मिलता. क्यों? क्योंकि कॉस्ट ज्यादा है. नोबडी प्रेफर्स द जूट. इवन इंडस्ट्रीज दे डोंट प्रेफर जूट. क्यों? उनका प्रॉफिट कम होगा ना, मार्जिन कम होगा. दैट इज व्हाई कैबिनेट केम विद दिस डिसीजन. अभी इंडिया में, इंडिया का प्रोडक्ट से ही पैकेजिंग होगा. इट विल गिव द flip to the jute sector, jute industries, jute farmers, and at the same time Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, Atmanirbhar Bharat. So please write down this. Please write down this. Significance. एक और चीज है, environmental significance. अगर जूट का इस्तेमाल ज्यादा होगा तो प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ एनवायरमेंट. अभी ये पॉलिथीन आप यूज करेगा, उसको फेंकेगा, इट्स नॉट डिग्रेडेबल. Okay. But jute is reusable also, renewable also, and biodegradable also. It's a natural product. So from ecology point of view also, we must promote the use of jute. Okay, promote the use of jute. And there are 40 lakh jute farmers in the country, more than 40 lakhs. To safeguard their interest, we need to give flip to this particular. अभी जूट के लिए और भी कुछ इनिशिएटिव्स लिए हैं सरकार ने, आपको मैं लिखवाता हूँ. वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट ने भी लिया है, लेकिन मैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के बताता हूँ. जूट इम्प्रूव्ड कल्टीवेशन एंड एडवांस रेटिंग एक्सरसाइज. जूट इम्प्रूव्ड कल्टीवेशन एंड एडवांस्ड रेटिंग एक्सरसाइज. रेटिंग मीन्स जो भी रूट्स बचता है ना जूट का, एक बार हार्वेस्ट होने के बाद हम उसमें ही फिर से दोबारा जूट की खेती कर सकते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट द मीनिंग ऑफ द रेटिन और द रटून क्रॉपिंग और रेटिंग एक्सरसाइज. तो ये ट्रेनिंग हम जूट किसानों को दे रहे हैं, और ये इसके लिए बहुत बड़ा बजट भी हमने रखा हुआ है. जूट स्मार्ट, इट्स अ इनिशिएटिव. जूट स्मार्ट, it's a e-government initiative. It's a kind of a portal. E-government initiative. It's a kind of a portal to assist jute farmers in every possible queries. To promote transparencies, biddings, exercise, and also this portal going to assist. And we have included jute in MSP also. Now we have included jute under minimum support price. न्यूनतम समर्थन मूल्य में. Do you know Government of India? अभी जब इकोनॉमी आपको पढ़ाएंगे तब पता करेगा. Government of India announces MSP for 24 crops, in which jute is also there. So this is what something very, very important. The topmost producer of jute is West Bengal. Second is Bihar. Third is Odisha. Fourth is Assam. Fifth is Andhra Pradesh. So all this Sundarban Delta is the very important natural region for the jute cultivation. It needs warm and humid climate, heavy rainfall, alluvial soil, and monsoon season is what suitable. So that is what the jute cultivation. Okay, so write down about jute cultivation. Okay, थोड़ा सा स्पेस मिशंस की बात कर लेते हैं. We call double asteroid redirection test. We call it DART mission. It was in the news recently. A DART mission. What is DART? A double asteroid redirection test. Double asteroid redirection test. It's called a DART mission, and it is a mission by NASA. Okay, NASA, USA. So it's a space agency of United States, NASA, and it's a first planetary defense test mission. It's a first planetary defense test mission. अभी इसका आपको मतलब समझाएंगे तो आप भी सरप्राइज हो जाओगे कि नासा का लेवल क्या है. एक्चुअली there's a asteroid. Okay, there's an asteroid in a solar system. Okay, there's an asteroid in a solar system. According to NASA, there are some speculations, or there is a probability that this particular asteroid in a very near future going to I could say going to hit the Earth orbit, and it can destroy many of the critical installations in the space. अगर आपको मैं बोलूं, this is the Earth orbit. So many critical installations are there in the space. सब अपना अपना देश का सैटेलाइट यहाँ है. एक इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन, ये मान लो इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन भी यहाँ पर. It's there in the Earth orbit. It's there in the Earth orbit. And you know what are asteroids? They're the pieces of the rocks. They can be the part of the planet and all. So they are in the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Asteroid कहाँ मिलता है हमको? Mars and Jupiter के orbit में ही मिलता है. So this is the Earth, Mercury, Venus, Earth. Here is Mars. Here is Jupiter. So they are in this orbit. Okay, they are in this Earth. This is Mars. This is Jupiter. They're in this orbit, asteroid and all. So there is an asteroid which is something here, and according to NASA, they are saying in a very near future they can impact the Earth orbit and they can collide with any of the critical installation. Might be they can collide with the International Space Station. Okay, so they are heading towards the planet Earth, the asteroids. According to NASA, this is the future speculation. I don't know whether it's going to happen or not, but there is a threat that any of the asteroid, which is एक दो asteroid हैं जो कि है वो हमारे planet की तरफ आ रहे हैं, और in many coming future they will be coming in the Earth orbit and can destroy these installation, or even they can enter into the Earth atmosphere and can cause havoc. तो नासा ने करा कि हम एक मिशन लॉन्च कर रहा है जिसका नाम है डार्ट मिशन. What this DART mission will do, DART mission will be sending NASA going to send a spacecraft to the space and will redirect the direction and the orientation of those asteroids. Okay, those in future will come towards planet Earth. So you can just imagine, हम एक स्पेसक्राफ्ट हम प्लेनेट से हमारे अर्थ से भेज रहा है जो कि उन एस्टेरॉइड्स का डायरेक्शन चेंज कर देगा in space only. Write down this. What is the target of this DART mission? Objective of this DART mission. Objective of DART mission. The DART target to redirect and reorient the direction, or you can say the path of asteroid which is coming towards planet Earth. That is the DART mission. Okay, write down this. Please write down this. And do you know what is the target of this DART mission? There's a body called the celestial body. Dimorphos. It's a moonlit planet. It's a moon-sized planet. It's not a moon. It's a moonlit planet. Okay, it's a moonlit planet, and it's coming towards the planet Earth. And DART mission aims to redirect the path of this dimorphos. So moonlit planet. It's a kind of a moon. A moon का टुकड़ा है आप ये कह सकते. So okay. इसको moonlit ही लिखो बस. Moonlit planet. Moonlit. It's a small natural satellite. Small natural satellite. Okay. So this is what the objective of the DART mission. This is the objective of the DART mission. Okay. So don't forget the purpose of the DART mission by NASA. Okay. Then coming to the news of science and technology and something related to vaccine. There's a vaccine called ZyCoV-D. The name of the vaccine is ZyCoV-D, and it's the world's first needle-free vaccine for COVID-19. First needle-free vaccine for COVID-19. It's a needle-free. Okay, it's a needle-free. It's a needle-free vaccine. So it has a needle-free. Okay, needle-free applicator. Needle-free. Okay. Have you seen that insulin injection? Insulin injection does not have the needle. Okay, it's a vascular injection. हम उसको needle से नहीं लगाते. It's a vascular kind of a therapy. Okay, so it's a vascular applicator. Okay, so that is what the first vascular application or needle-free injection we have for COVID-19. The name is ZyCoV-D. The name is ZyCoV-D. And it will be going to be done in 3 doses. First 0 days, 28 days, and then 56 days. So 3 doses. are there for this. 3 doses are there for this, and it's a DNA based medicine or DNA based vaccine. Okay, it's a DNA vaccine. We call it a plasmid DNA vaccine. Plasmid DNA vaccine. ओके, वो जो वायरस है जिसको हम बोलते हैं कि इट्स अ एंटीजन. ओके, एंटीजन इज इंसर्टेड इन द बॉडी through this needle free applicator along with this bacterial plasmid, and once it is injected into the muscle, the DNA get inside the cells of body. Okay, cells of body, and when it is in the cells of body, they started producing more antigens, replicas antigens. Okay, and then it triggers the immune system of the body. Immune system of the body. So this is the process. Okay, this is the process. So his name is very important, ZyCoV-D. ZyCoV-D, the world first needle-free COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, it's safer also, inexpensive also, and can be easily manufactured. So this is a positive thing about ZyCoV-D. Okay. Now, some news from art and cultural background, and very recently, Srinagar joins UNESCO Creative Cities Network. Okay, so UNESCO Creative City Network. UNESCO Creative City Network is a concept of UNESCO, United Nations Education Social Cultural Organization, headquartered in Paris, and Srinagar from India joined. And in which category? Folk city. Okay, a folk city. You know that there's a category in UNESCO. जब यूनेस्को डेडिकेट करता है ये टैग किसी सिटी को, तो उनके पास बहुत सारी कैटेगरीज हैं. Okay, they have full categories. जैसे कुछ कैटेगरी है, जैसे मैं यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ, the categories with the UNESCO. So one category is the folk and craft. Okay, one category is music. One category is film. One category is gastronomy. There are many categories India में. ये 4 category पे जो है. So in India, from India, Srinagar is from this category. Srinagar is from this category, and previously Jaipur was also there from this category. Music में the city of Varanasi and Chennai are from this category. Varanasi and Chennai, okay, they're the music city. Films में, you know, Mumbai is from this category, and from gastronomy, खाने पीने का जहाँ पे street foods and all, this is the Hyderabad. So you please remember these cities of India and which category they are being there in UNESCO's Creative City Network and all. So as far as the Srinagar is concerned, because this is the point of debate, so the point of discuss. So Srinagar has joined this folk city and craft cities network. Why? Because Srinagar is home for decorative and renowned art and craft products like paper making is there, Kashmiri shawl, Kashmiri silk, Pashmina shawl, woodwork is there, carpet work is there, silver work is there. So many works are there, no? You know, in Srinagar. So paper work, silverware. Okay, Pashmina shawl, Kashmiri shawl. It's known for some wooden work also. Okay, it is known for some pottery work also, wooden work also, pottery work also, for the carpet work also. So that is why this city has been chosen. And there are multiple impacts when any city joins the list of UNESCO's creative list. So there's a psychological impact of, okay, uh, in the population of that city, and it's itself is a big pride. You know, it's been recognized by one of the premier institution of the world in this. So you please write down these. ओके सो देर आर मेनी कैटेगरीज तो 4 कैटेगरी है लेकिन आप पूरी कैटेगरी लिख लो एक्चुअली देर आर 7 कैटेगरीज इंडिया को इन 4 में रिकॉग्निशन मिला है तो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 यू आल्सो राइट देयर इज अ कैटेगरी कॉल्ड मीडिया आर्ट till now no such entry from India from media art okay there is literature and one is design. तो यहाँ पे इंडिया का कोई भी एंट्री नहीं है बट इन दिस 4 कैटेगरी देयर आर सम okay please write down this information about the Srinagar. एक और करंट अफेयर का एंट्री हम पढ़ेंगे आज उसके बाद विल बी बाइंडिंग सेशन एंड I should take some different type of topic for the discussion was there in the news. 7 शेड्यूल के बारे में देख लेते थोड़ा सा नीड था अभी कुछ डिबेट so last topic is about 7th schedule of Indian Constitution. Okay, you know the 7th schedule is about the list in the Indian Constitution and you have the 3 list. It says that there are 3 lists in the Indian Constitution. The list 1, list 2 and list 3. One is the union list in which union government have the absolute power to frame the laws. The second is state list where state government have the power to frame the laws. And third is the concurrent list, with a list where the subjects are neither in the union list or not in the state list. So they are written in the constitution. They are called as the constitutional gray areas. Okay, the constitutional gray areas. It's not important from union list point of view, neither from federal point of view. So they are the gray area. And in the constitution, it is written that if both can frame the law, no, both union government and state government can frame the law. But if there is a clash between union government's law and state government's law, it's the law made by union government shall prevail. Union government law shall prevail. This is the basic concept about this event. Why it was in news actually, the Finance Commission chairman, Mr. N.K. Singh, you have studied about the Finance Commission of India. The recent Finance Commission of India is the 15th Finance Commission of India. And its chairman is Mr. N.K. Singh. So he said in one of the interview that there must be the revision of concurrent list. अभी COVID-19 के टाइम पे एक concurrent list वाला जो ग्रे एरिया है इसको सरकार को सॉल्व कर देना चाहिए. There must be the review of the concurrent list. What are the entries which are in the concurrent list? They must be shifted either to union list or either to state list. This is not me saying, this is Mr. N.K. Singh is saying, chairman of 15th Finance Commission. Okay, today if you gonna ask me, union list, it have the 100 items today. Originally 97 were there, but now 100 items. State list, originally 66 were there, but now 61. So 61, originally 66 were there. And the concurrent list, originally 47 were there, but now this is 52. अभी देखो यूनियन ने अपना से बढ़ा दिया है they have enlarged the union list. कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट भी एनलार्ज कर दिया, क्यों? क्योंकि यूनियन गवर्नमेंट के पास रेसिडुअली पावर है, वी कॉल इज अ रेसिडुअल पावर. इफ देयर इज अ क्लैश बिटवीन वंस लॉ एंड सेकंड लॉ, तो यूनियन लॉ, यूनियन गवर्नमेंट का जो लॉ है वो प्रिवेल करेगा, दैट विल बी हैविंग द लास्ट लॉ. तो हम कह सकते हैं सर रेसिडुअल पावर ऑफ द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, इसीलिए ये बढ़ा दिया, देखो यहाँ पे एंट्री. बट ओरिजिनली स्टेट लिस्ट हैव 66 सब्जेक्ट्स and now 61 items. This shows that India is not serious in terms of federalism. अरे हमारा देश एक फेडरल सेटअप का देश है. India is a federal country with unitary base, no doubt. So when India is a federal country, we respect the state governments, we respect the federal units, which are the state governments only. ऐसे देश में हमको स्टेट लिस्ट के कानून बढ़ाना चाहिए, स्टेट लिस्ट में आइटम जो है वो बढ़ाना चाहिए, तब तो हम बोलेंगे ना वी आर चेरिशिंग द फेडरलिज्म ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. लेकिन हम क्या कर रहा है, कम कर रहा है. 66 था ओरिजिनली, 61 कर दिया. व्हाई? बिकॉज सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट वांट टू एंजॉय मोर पावर इन द कंट्री. दे वांट टू फ्रेम मोर एंड मोर लॉज रिलेटेड टू एवरी सेक्टर एंड आइटम्स. दिस इज समथिंग अनफॉर्चुनेट in my point of view, and in many constitutional experts, they are in a view that in a country like India, which is having no such complex diversity, diverse country of the world, you have the diversity almost in every every sector. In every part we are, it's very complex diversity, and if the diversity is there, we must respect the diversity and we must respect the federal units. The more and more power must be the state government. You keep the unitary based concept, you keep the citizenship, you keep the railways, you keep the defense, you keep everything, okay, which is what you can say it's something associated with the unity and integrity of the country in terms of sovereignty of the country. You take this subjects, it's union government, but rest of the subjects must be the state government. Abhi 66 tha original, aapne 61 kar diya. It's not a good exercise. That is why NK Singh is saying concurrent list abhi theek hai, state list mein 61, concurrent list mein ladai hai. There are 52 subjects, and if there is a clash, union government का बनाया हुआ law prevail कर. So they are saying there must be the revision of concurrent list as well. Okay, there must be a revision of concurrent list. और कुछ मैं आपको suggestions बताता हूँ, experts ने suggestion दिया है कि क्या होना चाहिए और कैसे होना चाहिए. So you just write down that what can be the suggestion, what can be the review call. Okay, so they are saying कि एक कमीशन था called as MM Punchi Commission. MM Punchi Commission, it was there in 2010, recommended that the union should only transfer those subjects into the concurrent list which are central to achieving demonstrable national interest. Okay, Panchi Commission is saying a concurrent list जो है उसके पूरे सब्जेक्ट ट्रांसफर कर दो स्टेट लिस्ट और सिर्फ उनको रिटेन कर लो जो कि इंपॉर्टेंट है फ्रॉम नेशनल इंटरेस्ट पॉइंट ऑफ, ओके, फ्रॉम नेशनल इंटरेस्ट point of view. Okay, we must transfer those subjects to state government, but which is very very important from national interest point of view, उनको आप बस retain. Something associated unity, something associated with integrity, associated with citizenship, associated with railways, associated with defense, associated with external security, associated with no, the kind of things, no, a family planning, population control, you can take, but rest of the subject must be with the state government. This is the Panchis Commission recommendation. आपको मेंस में ये recommendation डाल देना नाम लिख के. The second suggestion is coming. That if suppose there is a clash in concurrent list, a clash over concurrent list, then there must be an institutional setup. There must be a consultation. There must be a consultation between a union government and state government. अभी क्या होता है, कोई कंसल्टेशन नहीं है. जो यूनियन गवर्नमेंट ने बोल दिया वो फाइनल है, कुछ नहीं बोल पाएगा तो, क्योंकि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिखा है. There must be a consultation. Consultation framework must be there in the country. It is a suggestion. Okay. और थर्ड लेगा है कि जब भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अपना रेसिडुअरी पावर इस्तेमाल करे, द रेसिडुअरी पावर ऑफ सेंटर must not be frequently exercised. Must not be frequently exercised. ये आपके पास ब्रह्मास्त्र है कि आप जो बोलोगे कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट पे वो होगा, लेकिन इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि कभी भी मुंह उठा के यूज कर लिया वो पावर. नो, इट मस्ट बी वेरी sparingly used. कभी कभार बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत होता है, वरना आप स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को बनाने दो कानून. We are the country known for the diversity. You cannot control diversity in sitting in New Delhi. You cannot control your diversity. राज्य सरकार वाला आदमी ज्यादा अच्छे से जानता है कि हमारे प्रदेश में क्या प्रॉब्लम, केंद्र सरकार नहीं जानती. तो राज्य सरकारों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा कॉल लेने के लिए कहना चाहिए. ओके. और एक और सजेशन है कि आप जो भी ऑब्सोलेट एंट्रीज है ना, उसमें पुरानी एंट्रीज हैं जो कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट में, जो भी पुरानी एंट्रीज है, जैसे कुछ एंट्रीज हैं द रूलर्स ऑफ इंडियन स्टेट, पुरानी अंग्रेजों के जमाने का एंट्रीज है, बॉयलर्स रिलेटेड एंट्रीज आर देयर, कोट ऑफ वार्ड्स ऑफ एंट्रीज रहे हो, तो उनको हटाओ. यू एलिमिनेट ऑल दीज एंट्रीज. ओके, एलिमिनेट कर दो उसको, और इसके जगह पर मॉडर्न एंट्रीज जो नीड है हमारी आज की, उनको डालो. सजेशन. ठीक है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स. सो एज फार एज दिस कंसर्न्स द schedules, 7 schedule, 3 list and all, if there is a question you can understand. And it's the governing article is article 246. Article 246 says that the parliament and the state legislation on the subject enumerated in the 7th schedule. Parliament union list पे कानून बनाएगी, state list पे राज्य सरकार कानून बनाएगी, और concurrent list पे दोनों कानून बनाएगी, but the residuary power is rests with the central government. It's all written in this article, article 246. Write down this. Okay. So important from examination point of view. Okay. So that's all for today, and tomorrow the same module with new kinds of entries. Thank you.